Hello, people of YouTube. I am Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. The only downside to the Promised Neverland Season 2 that I'm seeing so far is, number one, apparently they are going to make some anime-only adaptations. Basically, that just means filler episodes. And number two, we're only getting 11 episodes. And it's been a minute since the Promised Neverland has been around. I don't know if it came out when I started YouTube or not. I honestly don't remember. It's been a couple of years. It's been at least 2 years since we got Promised Neverland Season 1. I know everything got delayed with the virus and all of that fun stuff going on. Haha, I say sarcastically, of course. But, I thought we would get more episodes. Maybe they're going to break something up, and be like, bam, Season 3 2 months later. That'd be kind of cool with like another 12 episodes, but right now, Season 2 confirmed 11 episodes. That's all we're getting. But anyway, I still enjoyed the first episode. Let's get right into it. So, for starters, they've escaped. They're running away from a giant monster, and it brings you definitely right back into the terrifying aspects of this anime, because you can feel their fear. They're breathing heavily. They're all scared. This giant, crazy demon thing is coming after them, trying to kill them, except it's not one of the sentient demons. This is just like some sort of crazy, random animal monster spider thing in the forest. We don't get to see much of it besides some R's. It's a couple of its arms. It has a bunch of eyes. Ray ends up figuring out that there's a tail. It's basically like a snake pit, like a giant snake pit of no return. You fall into it, tries to trick it to falling into that snake pit, which it doesn't end up doing because the sentient demons come and chop the thing's head off like it was nothing. And that's also terrifying because now we also know how powerful some of these demons are, and they actually have like bounty hunters out there trying to collect these people that are basically just cattle to them. They call Ray an it in the series, so they clearly don't seem to be able to distinguish between the genders too well of male and female. But, I mean, at the same time, I understand, Ray's like 12, 13, so puberty ain't quite there yet. So I can see that issue as well. But that kind of goes back into the beginning where it's just like, it's kind of nice, they're free, you think they're safe for a little bit, you think their biggest concerns are going to be, where's the food, where's the water, we have to conserve all of this stuff, so that way nobody dies, we all want to live, and then giant crazy monster, and it just gets you right back into it. I almost forgot what this anime was like initially because it's just been that long, but it definitely sucks you back in right away. Get your heart kind of palpitating out of your chest there a little bit, and it's just like, I don't know, nobody die. And thankfully, nobody died in this episode, but it is definitely possible that somebody may die in this group in the foreseeable future. I mean, there's quite a few no-names in the group. I mean, honestly, your main two right now are going to be Ray and Emma. And then two characters I'm forgetting about, the taller kid, and then the girl with green hair and glasses as well. But obviously the main two being Ray and Emma, the most two important in the show. Emma's wound, and I think Ray's wound too, from slicing open their ear, gets infected at some point in time, reopens, causes problems, but two people, you see how I did that? People end up rescuing them and the kids all together in like this giant tree thing and say they're safe, but we don't know what their plan is. Basically, it ends off with the episode with Emma and Ray figuring out that the people that rescued them from the demons were also demons themselves, and they asked them the name William, Minerva, and they didn't know who that was. So William is the guy that stamped the owls in all of the books, minus the one, which is like a mythology book, which describes what actually happens in the forest. So William is definitely a very important character. Somehow he was able to go back to, where they're keeping the children, or even at very least be able to publish some of these books with this secret owl symbol that they put in everything, with the Morse code around it. Norman also left them a pen, that was William's pen, and it's definitely some sort of sci-fi futuristic thing. You pull it apart and it projects this screen, and then it has Morse code for touch. You touch it, and it gives you kind of a map of the forest, which is kind of crazy because there's definitely somebody that escaped beforehand, has laid the groundwork, must be very intelligent, because they were somehow able to map pretty much the entire forest or get some sort of technology that allowed them to do that. Get back into, I guess you could call it the barn. I'm going to call it the barn because that's basically where they're raising these people as cattle. Was able to update all of the education systems. And it is going to be interesting. I want the backstory on this William person because it is going to be very interesting to see, and I do hope we get it, what happened beforehand, how we got to this point, how these people ended up in this situation, and how William was able to probably save countless of other children that were smart enough to figure it out and get out of that situation. Obviously, we only have a certain amount of time before they get to go to take more children. I think, if I remember the time frame, it was 3 months. So they have to figure out a plan for 3 months in order to let the rest of the children escape, design something that gets rid of the tracker chips and allows them to escape into the forest for the foreseeable future. Mother, we don't know what happened to her. I'm guessing because she failed, they probably killed her, replaced her with somebody else. They clearly have other mothers set up for this exact scenario, and it's clearly happened before. If William is leaving all of these clues for the kids of the future to get a hold of and escape, hopefully, if they are educated enough. Me being the person I am, I would see an owl stamp and everything, and honestly, I don't think I would live in this scenario. I mean, I don't consider myself dumb by any means, but I don't think I'm smart. Would have been smart enough at the time to connect the dots there with all the owls and the Morse code. I'd probably just continue to be oblivious to everything, but who the heck even knows? There's a point in the episode where it is kind of heartwarming because everyone's getting upset about Norman, and that's the moment where Emma ends up passing out because of her ear. And you definitely get a feel for the real danger that they are in this anime, and it's freaking terrifying. You think they're finally, hey, we're finally in the clear. We're good to go. All we're going to have to do is worry about food and water. We don't have to worry about anything else. And then, nope, giant crazy monsters. It's actually kind of ironic because Ray said he was like, oh, I didn't see any giant, footprints from big creatures. And it's definitely a different world than Earth because the trees are gargantuan. The creatures are ridiculously huge, etc. And one of the books, there's, thankful some of these kids are smart and read all these books that they have lying around. Well, I guess there's really nothing else to do. They don't have TV somehow, even though there's like futuristic, crazy touchscreen technology in there, projectors out of a pen in there too. But there's a plant where they can survive off of water, and all this, the textbook that is about kind of mythology is all real and all crazy, giant, terrifying creatures and warnings of what is in the forest. But at least they have a destination. They're trying to get to William for help. But the thing is, we don't know how long ago he put that there. So maybe William was like some super smart Einstein genius person. He got a few people out 1,000 years ago. So we don't even know if this person is alive or dead at this point. And we're just going to have to wait and see what happens there. They have no means to defeat any of the creatures in the forest that are bigger than them, because obviously they're children. They have no actual weapons. But there could be good demons out there, because why would... The only reason I could see this one demon stealing these kids is for black market trades, because obviously they can make a lot of money off of them. They want to eat them themselves, or they are kind of like against what the demons are doing, because obviously there's probably other food sources besides people. We have a million food sources. I'm sure the demons on their planet have a bunch of food sources. There's plenty of other plants and animals in the forest that they can kill and eat, and they may be kind of like anti-government demons that are against the main demons and want to help these kids escape. And I could definitely see that being a possibility as well, because they're not going to kill everybody off in the second episode. I mean, they're basically trapped at this point. You have two demons that are fairly powerful, helped them escape into this tree so that they're safe, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like they're safe. But I think they're tricking you There's definitely that kind of cliffhanger at the end where they're tricking you, where it leads me to believe that they're going to be safe for next week and there's nothing we really have to worry about. But at the end of the day, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But great episode overall, getting back into it. Definitely got the whole heart palpitations going, And it was, you were afraid for them, you were fearful of them, you think they're going to be finally okay, and it's just like a giant crap pile. It just keeps building up and getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and you're wondering when it's finally going to peak. Because eventually, I'm guessing they're going to grow older, and they are going to retaliate and try to kill a lot of these demons that are, doing this to all these kids. These smart creatures. It's not like a cow, but I guess it's kind of all where you decide to draw the line, because to these demons, these people are just cows, They're livestock. They kill them when they want to. They eat them when they want to. And there's really nothing more for them to think about it. Why they teach them how to read and write, maybe it develops the brain better, makes the brain taste better. I can definitely see that being a go-to point for why they're letting them have all these education systems. But how has the mother or the demons that are allowing these books to be read by these children, how has no one figured this out by now? There's an owl in all these books and Morse code. It's there at the same time if the demons never really check the books, or they're not going to show up anyway, because if a demon showed up with all the children there, it'd be terrifying. But we do know that there are human-like demons that have the ability to disguise themselves well enough where you think they could possibly be a human. They are on the smaller size. So who knows if they're coming in and out of there. I personally don't think they're ever actually checking up on it. And they have hunters and trackers for this exact scenario, because clearly it's happened before. So they're prepared. And that's why I'm saying, don't get too close to any of the characters. We got close to Norman. He was one of the main characters last season. And look, he died, Game of Thrones style. So we'll just have to wait and see. All I can say with Norman is it's a small possibility that he's alive, because everyone that we've seen die has died on camera. Norman was the only one we didn't see die on camera, which kind of gives me like a tiny, tiny glimmer of hope that he may be still alive somewhere. That he's smart enough to help the demons out, to create new security systems to keep all of these kids in, where it's like, hey, if you help us create all these security systems and tell us exactly how you learned all of this knowledge, we'll let you live. Maybe we'll let you be a breeder to have more kids, to have smart kids that'll taste good. Not that you're ever going to see them, but I could see that as a possibility as well. So a little bit of hope, but I don't think, even if he is alive, I don't think we're going to see him this season. Anyway, it'll probably be like, holy crap, I forgot about him 2 or 3 seasons down the road. But we'll just have to wait and see how that whole situation plays out. If you got this far in the video, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment down below what you'd like me to do for future anime and cartoon related videos, and turn on that notification bell so you know when I'm making new content. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.